A big debate last night, several debates this week. The debate last night at Norfolk State University between incumbent Democrat Senator Tim Kaine and his excellent challenger, that'd be Navy Captain Hung Cao. Hung Cao had a lot of great moments last night. Here is one of them, one of my favorite highlights, as he talks about the American dream, what it means to him, and why people shouldn't be illegally coming into the country.
Don't ask for the American dream if you're not willing to debate American laws and embrace the American culture. When Vietnam fell, we had nowhere to go, and America brought us in. And my parents waited in line for 7 years. We all did, for 7 years to get our citizenship. I love this country so much that I wrote a blank check up to and including my life to defend it. We need to protect Americans every single day.
Great American immigrant, military veteran, and now U.S. Senate candidate Captain Hung Cao joins us on the phone. Sir, good to have you back with us.
Vince, thank you so much for having me. It was a great night last night.
Yeah, I thought so too. You know, that was that theme of what is happening to our borders. That seemed to weigh heavily in most of your answers. Actually, I felt like you kept bringing that up to the audience last night.
No, absolutely. Look, we have people in the entire East Coast right now that don't have homes. We've got lost over 100 Americans, and there's 200 or so they're missing. We need to medevac everybody out and put them in this 4-star hotel that we're putting illegal aliens. They're in there, eating and getting room service when our people are on the rooftops, suffering and dying.
Yeah, there are estimates upwards of $9,000, $20,000 per illegal, all sorts of money headed towards illegal foreign nationals in our country. But American citizens, we just heard Kamala Harris say yesterday that those affected by the storm, some of them may be eligible at some point in the future for $750 in relief, Hung Cao. Did something seem screwed up there to you?
Absolutely. We spent $500 billion last year on illegal aliens, and now FEMA is saying they don't have enough money to help Americans. That's wrong. Trust me. We can stop all the bleeding right now at the border and then take that money and invest in Americans.
Last night in the debate, Hung Cao had this to say about Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Tim Kaine.
Where's the leadership? Joe Biden's on the beach. Kamala Harris is with a bunch of billionaires doing a fundraiser, and Senator Tim Kaine is at a pig roast.
Another good line. I wonder, Hung Cao, what was it like for you to be in this debate against Tim Kaine? I was watching last night and thinking, first of all, Tim Kaine's been in politics, since the Stone Age, and he's up there. He's very political. It seemed like boring, polished Democrat talking points, and you look like a guy who's engaging in politics and wants to do something good for the country.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, he was really nice at the beginning. I mean, when we greeted each other, he goes, "Hey, nice meeting you, and congratulations on the grandbaby." And when we were done, he's like, "All right, good job." And he walked away and went into the spin room to try to do damage control.
Yeah, he did. He went in there and he was trying to, I guess, recover from how everything went last night. You did raise one of the critical questions yesterday. You asked if people felt like they were better off than they were last administration.
The economy is hitting us all the same way. Ask yourself this question: are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? The answer across the board is no. The only people better off today than they were 4 years ago are illegal aliens, criminals, and senators like Senator Tim Kaine.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, how does Tim Kaine answer for that? I mean, that seems like the most obvious math that anybody can do as they walk into the ballot box. Is my life improved by having these people in charge? The answer seems to be across the board, no.
You're right. I mean, the same people that got us into this mess are now saying, "Hey, give me until 2030. That's what Tim Kaine wants. Give me until 2030, and I promise I'll fix everything I screwed up. And he didn't like my when I brought up his record, right? He introduced 227 pieces of legislation or co-sponsored it, and only 3 made it through. That's a 99% failure rate. Look, I defuse bombs, and our motto is initial success or total failure. If I had 99% failure rate, I wouldn't be talking to you right now, Vince.
No, you wouldn't. Actually, I want people to hear this moment. It's pretty funny. And I just so everyone knows, I fact-checked it this morning. I was like, was Hung Cao right about this? And sure enough, you were right. This is a very accurate number. But Tim Kaine last night was insisting, that's not true. That's not true.
Again, he says what he's going to do. It's going to be like, hey, why haven't you done it yet? Honestly, of the 227 bills that Senator Kaine has proposed, only 3 of them made it through.
That's completely wrong.
That's a 99% failure rate. My profession is disarming
Check the
bombs.
tape on that. That's completely wrong.
Okay, sir, there's two truths in the world, okay? Never walk in a Target store wearing a red shirt, and never go against an Asian when it comes to math. Trust me.
What does that mean?
Gentlemen, we're going to move on.
Look, he's got a 99% failure rate.
That was a funny moment. And so, once again, I did fact check this morning, Hung Cao, and you're totally right about that. The 227 bills, only 3 have ever become law. One of them was renaming a post office. I mean, this is not a guy with like some big track record of huge legislative accomplishments.
No, you're absolutely right. Look, your audience has a better chance tonight of winning Powerball than for Tim Kaine to write some bill that's going to help them.
Hey, that line last night where you said that there's 2 things, 2 truths in the world: never walk into a Target wearing a red shirt, never go against an Asian when it comes to math. First of all, that Target thing, I had never heard that before, and I was looking it up today. Apparently, there's entire subreddits dedicated to this. Apparently, it's a bad idea to wear a Target red T-shirt into the store because people start thinking that you work there, and either someone will yell at you to get back to work or customers will ask you for help.
I always tell them aisle 9, sir. It's right down aisle 9.
Aisle 9. See, he's so helpful, even when he doesn't even work for Target. I want to play for you something. This is so last night I was watching some of the post-debate reaction, and there's a TV channel called Wavy, which is a fun name for a TV channel. But they weren't too enthusiastic about you, I have to admit, Hung Cao. A lot of the post-debate coverage was kind of tilted against you, not surprisingly. But they interviewed a Virginia delegate, Democrat Don Scott, and asked him about that comment that you made about Asians and their ability to do math well. And here's what he had to say. Listen to this.
And he was giving a bit of percentage numbers, and Kaine pushed back and said, that's not correct. You don't have those numbers right. And Cal's response was, there are 2 things you never do. You never wear a red shirt in Target, and you never question an Asian on math. What did you think about that response?
I'm not surprised. That is the type of anti-DEI racism that folks like that in that community are using now. If I were Asian American, I would probably be offended because it says a lot about how he thinks about race, that he pigeonholes Asian kids and Asian people, and I don't want to know what he would have said about black people.
Oh my gosh. All right, so the conclusion from this dude is that you're some sort of insidious racist, Hung Cao, because you cracked a joke about a positive stereotype about people who look like you.
You can't make this stuff up, Vince. I mean, everything triggers them, right? Everything hurts their feelings. It's like, hey, let me show you this teddy bear. You point on this teddy bear where I hurt your feelings, and we'll talk about it. It's just insane.
It is. It's totally insane. But I saw a lot of that last night, though. It was really goofy. There was one other thing I want people to hear. Do we have? Oh, here it is. This is one of my favorite moments. The moderators tried to challenge you on your concern about DEI policies in the military. Now, you're the military veteran on stage. You're the guy who has some sense of what it means to be in the military, and of course, how you think it might be strengthened. So, I would, if anybody on stage is equipped to even discuss this, it's you. So they challenge you about this, and you had, I thought, maybe the answer of the night.
When you're using a drag queen to recruit for the Navy, that's not the people we want. What we need is alpha males and alpha females who are going to rip out their own guts, eat them, and ask for seconds. Those are young men and women that are going to win wars.
Please, audience, please.
And then they got upset. The audience started going wild. They loved your response to that, Hung Cao. My sense is that was an answer that very much resonated with members of the military and veterans.
No, absolutely. Look, do we want diversity? Yes, we want diversity in thought, in backgrounds, and experiences. Equity has no place in the military. Okay, and then finally, inclusion. Look, the military is a very exclusive community. Only 10% of our country qualifies for military service right now. And even in special operations, right, we only take the very top tier. So when I train my warriors for, like, I commanded Naval Diving Salvage Training Center, where we train 1,400 special operations divers from all services, each year. I tell them, look, the sea is unforgiving, and things like war and hardship, it's going to kill you just the same. That's why we have the same standard. And that's why we train to the same exact standard, because you need to be able to depend on the person next to you. And these people who've never worn the cloth of our nation will never understand that.
Also, there's something kind of dangerous, isn't there, about going into the military and then spending the whole time being obsessed with yourself rather than the mission and the people that you're serving alongside?
No, you're absolutely right. Like the first thing you do at boot camp or the Naval Academy, they shave your head, they give you a number, and that's who you are because we're all the same. You know, we're all warriors, and that's what we're expected to do is to fall in line, not be different, not be special. I don't need to get all the attention. Just be yourself and be part of the team.
Hung Cao, what kind of reaction have you gotten since that debate last night? Are you seeing any donations, reactions, and support?
Yes, I mean, a lot of support, a lot of donations, and then, of course, the left is hitting me on the fact that, oh, my gosh, he's invoking cannibalism for recruitment or something crazy.
The line about ripping out your own guts, eating them, and asking for seconds, to me, that's like you're a wild man. You're exactly the kind of person I want holding a gun on behalf of this nation. But to them, it's that you're advocating cannibalism. That's how they took it?
That's exactly it. Look, you can't make this stuff up. These people are crazy.
Oh, that's the best. Hey, what does the rest of this campaign look like? We have just over 30 days. I know you'll be doing, I believe, you may already be doing it, but are you traveling tomorrow to other regions of Virginia to see some of this storm damage? Is that what's happening?
Yes, we are. And then right now I'm meeting J.D. Vance. I'm in Virginia Beach still, so we're going to meet J.D. Vance. Then we have a breakfast with some of the locals here, and then we're heading out there. And then, and then I'm barnstorming Virginia with the governor on Saturday.
Excellent. And I know J.D. Vance was in Damascus today, visiting and meeting with Governor Youngkin, having some conversations. What will be, if you can share with us, kind of the goal of your conversation and meeting with the vice presidential candidate today?
Well, we're just, again, what's the strategy for winning Virginia? We have, we already have early voting, and the numbers are looking very good. I mean, I don't want to give it away because then the Democrats will start pouring more money in here. But the early voting numbers look very good for all of us. And obviously, I'm worried about people in the Southwest. I mean, that's our own, Virginians, and we need to take care of them first. And so we want to be able to get help to them when we need to. It's not look. I don't want to advertise this because I'm not out there for a campaign thing. It's just going to be we slip in, slip out. No one sees us. But that's what we're going to do.
Well, I mean, I will say. Far too often in politics, people say something, oh, he's just doing it for politics. Well, the whole way we judge people is whether or not they share our values and they advance the cause of our country, or in your case, the state as well. Seeing you out there is not inherently a bad thing, a pejorative thing that people, if there's a camera that captures it, it's a good thing. It reflects well on you, and voters should know that you care about the right things instead of whatever Tim Kaine is up to.
I know it's just weird because I'm always used to being the one that runs into an emergency, right? As a Navy diver, recovering things underwater, as an EOD tech, diffusing bombs. We go in there, we do our job, and we leave, and there's no fanfare or anything else. We just serve. So it's just, for me, it's just weird. This whole politics thing is very odd. It's not what I wanted to do, but it's what our country needs for us to do.
Hey, can I let me ask you one other question about your bio, Hung Cao. I've known you for some time. I've talked with you a bunch, but I didn't realize this detail. I heard Chris Plant talking about it this morning. Is it true that you were a part of the Navy diving crew that recovered JFK Jr.'s body?
Yes, I actually recovered his plane. I was the one that went down, and I was the operations officer, so I planned the entire search. And by the time we found the plane, everybody was already dirty. We're diving, so it's you can only dive once every 24 hours when you're doing surface decompression. So they came up to me like, "Hey, sir, you got to dive." I'm like, "Wait, there's got to be another diver." They're like, "No, sir, everybody's dirty, and you have to go down." And I hadn't slept in 3 days, and we needed the plane up because Ted Kennedy was going to come and recover the bodies. And so I went down and got it and got the plane back up.
What an amazing story. What an amazing story. Your whole life is an amazing story. Hung Cao, thank you so much. Congratulations again on that excellent debate last night. Best of luck moving forward, and hope to see you on the campaign trail, sir.
Yes, and tomorrow you're going to have great time in Loudoun County. My wife will be out there in my stead, so have fun out there in Loudoun County.
I can't wait to see her. We'll be there 8:30 in the morning. That's the Office of Elections in Leesburg. Coffee and donuts to be provided by Army of Parents. It's going to be a great one. Hung Cao, thank you, sir.